Shadow Environment Minister John O'Donoghue, Senator Jonathan Donoghue, and Senior Fellow at the Menzies Research Centre, Nick Cater. Welcome to you both. I tell you what, I said it's politically naive, politically stupid, and then there's political suicide. Nick, going down the path of negative gearing yet again, if this is what Labor does, how do you rate it?
I think it is, as you say, it's political suicide. We looked at this in the 2019 election. When you remember, Labor went with a policy to abolish negative gearing. It went down terribly, particularly amongst the immigrant communities, Asian migrants. We found that 30% of Asian migrant families had investment properties. I think any form of taxation that on saving, and essentially what this is a bad idea. But I think Labor is really, really in trouble if it pursues this any further.
Senator, you know, Treasury doesn't cost something on a frolic. Help people understand, if the Treasury Department's putting resources into the very complex modelling that would have to be done on a tax policy change like this, it's because someone at the very top of the tree is telling them they want it done.
And there aren't many people at the top of the tree that don't have the name Jim Chalmers. I mean, that's exactly right, Peter. If the government were serious about this claim that minister after minister made today, which was, no, we have no plans, we have no intention, we have no proposal to look at changing negative gearing, then the Treasurer would have said to Treasury, who've gone and done this modelling, it's confirmed now, do not include that in all of the advice you're preparing for us. Rule it out. But they didn't do that, which means it is on the cards for them. The government have said it on so many different things. Stage 3 was a prime example. It's been bandied about today. They can't hide from the fact that they have form when it comes to breaking promises, and I reckon we're about to see the next one. The times have called for it, and we now need to change our policy when it comes to negative gearing. Watch this space.
Nick, Labor says, you know, no one's interested in building nuclear power. We don't need to get rid of the prohibition. The coalition says get rid of the prohibition. You'll see exactly who might be interested in building it. I broke this story on Monday night, the report that hit the Financial Times in London, that 14 major banks announced by John Podesta, as the White House climate advisor, have now moved to say they are aggressively going to fund nuclear power. This, for Australia, is a game changer.
Yeah, it's a game changer for the world, Peter. I mean, this is a real significant turnaround by the banks, which were heavily backing renewables, and also by big tech, particularly Microsoft, which, you know, is sinking another $1 billion to reopen the 3 Mile Island reactor because they need that power for AI and storage and all those things. So I think there's been a sort of a moment of realisation. Reality has hit the tech industry and the financial sector to show them that they cannot achieve their climate goals, nor can they prepare their economies for the 21st century with the added demand for reliable electricity. It's a massive turnaround. This will benefit, of course, Peter Dutton, and Labor now is looking all over the place on this question.
Look at this shocking statistic in Queensland. This is in the June quarter alone. 10,500 working days were lost to industrial disputation just in Queensland. Next closest state, WA, 4,500 days lost. Casual workers working on Melbourne's $26 billion North East link, all connected to the CFMEU, are earning as much as $300,000 a year. Jono, this is why you got to crack down on the CFMEU.
Oh, absolutely, Peter. There is not a person out there doing it tough at the moment that thinks that anything of those stats, including, frankly, the obscene levels of pay you've just outlined, is in any way reasonable. I mean, it reminds me of sort of the dying days of the automotive industry in Australia, where you had people at the end of the production line laying the carpet maps in the freshly made vehicles, earning 6 figures of pay. I mean, no wonder we have industries in decline. We price ourselves out of the market, and these people who are doing so well out of these union agreements and with union aggression do themselves out of a job. So yes, we do need a tough cop on the beat, and Labor simply doing what their paymasters ask for and letting these people run riot around the place. And so we all pay the price.
Thank you, gentlemen. Apologies, short and sweet tonight. Terrific insights as always. I'll catch up with you next week.